Hi, my name is Brian Chun. I'm a licensed realtor with Keller Williams Group 1 right here in Reno, Nevada. And today we're kicking off a brand new video series called How to Determine If You're Ready to Buy. With that, the most important element in home buying is getting pre-approved for a mortgage loan. So with that, I'd like to introduce our resident expert, Julie Millare of Summit Funding. Hi, Julie, and
Thanks, Brian.
thank you for joining us today. Please share with our viewers a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Julie Millare. I'm a residential mortgage lender with Summit Funding. I've worked here for 11 and a half years now and been a licensed loan originator since 2018. I think I've helped somewhere between 250 or so clients buy homes at this point, buy or refinance homes, and learn from just an amazing team. The team that I learned from had about 100 years of combined experience in mortgage. So they were just the best to learn from and put me in the position that I'm in now.
Great. So you and we worked on several home purchases already and with great success. And I was wondering, maybe you can kind of put it and encapsulate what does a buyer have to do to get pre-approved? What are the basics?
So when you are meeting with a mortgage lender, we use the acronym CCI. That stands for cash, credit, and income. Those are the three main pieces that we look at when we're talking about getting a pre-approved for a mortgage. So how much cash do you have? What does your credit look like? And then how is your income and the stability and likelihood of it to continue, especially. So those are the three main points that any lender is going to sit down and look at with you to determine, are you ready to buy now? And do you have all those three items in order? Or is there anything we need to do to work on to get you there into the future?
You know, I also know that when we went to have the buyers go in and talk to you, my buyers, there were things that came up that were kind of unique. And that kind of sets the stage for, it's not always the basics. There are some specialty items, I believe, that you need to look at and guide the client through. It's sort of like, I kind of think of it like GPS for finance, okay? So, you get to a new city, you need to get to a certain place, you're going to probably use GPS to get there. Well, home buying is kind of a complex process, especially in the finance category. So you probably need GPS. You're a GPS finance expert to help them build a map on how to get there. So with that, why don't you, if you could share with us a little bit about some of the specialty items you've come across and maybe some of the things you've helped them to travel over those hurdles and make it to success.
Yeah, so there are so many factors and every loan is going to be different. Everybody's credit report is going to be different and people have different income situations. And we've got mortgage guidelines that we have to follow that change all the time on us. Just when you think you've got a grasp on things, all of a sudden the rules change. And that's our job, to stay on top of it and make sure that we're putting people into the best product for them or setting them up on the best path for success, basically. But I mean, a lot of times people come in and people are so afraid to come in and just have that conversation. And I know it's like, we're looking at a lot. We're looking at your bank statements. We're looking at your credit, but we're doing it in a sense to help and guide you, like you said, get to your destination. And there is no judgment. Everything is totally confidential when you come in and meet with a lender. We are licensed professionals that have to do continuing education and are held to a very high standard of where our license can get revoked if we're not doing something properly, right? So a couple things to consider, like I was just talking to somebody this morning about self-employed clients. I very proactively work with clients that I have that are self-employed and make sure we're looking at their draft of their tax returns as soon as humanly possible and sending feedback to the CPA that's prepared them of either, yes, this is great, or no, this isn't quite what we need. Can we make these changes to show income this way without putting too much of a burden on their tax liability, and making sure that we're prepped and ready to go by the time they file their next tax return so that they're sitting pretty with the income we need to qualify them, right? There's also alternative options for those people. Like if you're just not showing enough income on tax returns, there's bank statement loans and things we can go down the path of as well. But that might be one example if that's helpful.
Exactly. And in fact, when we've identified customers, buyers that were a little short on their income, they went out, and the husband and wife went out and got part-time jobs to supplement their income, and they were able to get qualified. So, there's lots of solutions, but I think the point is, when you have a loan professional, a good loan professional, they're going to provide you with that GPS map on how to get to pre-approval of a home loan. And that's where it's really, really important to have a loan professional like yourself. And I want to add something here. Loan professionals are not all equal. Okay. I got to tell you, Julie is very good at her job because she delivers. Okay. I worked with some loan professionals, not that I recommended them, but loan professionals that at the 11th hour call me and say, "Hey, Brian, I'm sorry. Looks like I can't do what I said I was going to do," basically, whether it's the government approved loan assistance, down payment assistance, or whether it's the lower interest rate or whatever have you. But the thing being is, you don't want to get that bad news phone call the day before or the morning of your closing, because then all of a sudden you're stuck in a corner, and then you've got to pull out another 15,000 out of your bank account, or you're going to have to pay more per month on your mortgage, and then you're stuck. So go with a trusted professional that's going to deliver on what they say they can do. And I can tell you right now, every single one of my transactions with Julie Millare has been fantastic with 100% delivery. Thank you very much, Julie Millare.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So with that, I kind of want to keep this short, you and I both. And so was wondering, is there any best advice you can give our buyers at this time?
I mean, I would say if you're interested in buying a home at some point in the future, the best piece of advice I can give you is just take the plunge and just get started and have that conversation. I don't care if it's 4 years down the line and you just started college and you want to buy a house when you graduate. Like, sit down and meet with a lender and just talk about it. Look at your credit, tell them what your plan is for income, see what you have to save for your down payment. It's no harm to do such thing. And that way you have a plan going forward. Most people want to meet about 6 months to a year beforehand, but I mean, I've had a lot of clients in the last year or 2 years that I have been working with for 3 years, literally, to help them get even approved to buy a home. Whether that was they had to get married, literally, because they needed dual income to qualify for the home that they wanted, or we had credit problems and they did exactly what I told them to do to get to that spot where they were able to finally get an approval on their loan. And it was a long road, but that's the happiest day when somebody that you've been working with for 3 years finally becomes a homeowner, and the realtor gets to hand over the keys and we get to sign documents. It's amazing. That family's life is now changed forever. So it might take that long. It could be something as little as a couple months and you're ready to go. But if you're unsure, my best advice is just go for it and meet with a lender like myself so we can sit down, make a plan, see if you're ready. And if you're not, we'll make that plan. And as long as you stick with it, we're going to stick with you the entire way until we make it happen. So
perfect. Hey, great advice. If you're thinking about buying, don't wait until you find the home to see if you qualified. Check it out now. It doesn't cost anything. Just a little bit of information. Julie will provide you with all the documents she needs. We'll sit down. I'll come get you. We'll go down together if you want, some company, or it can be private. But we want you to know that we're here to help you, and we only want to meet with you and get this thing started, and it'll be up to you. Okay, all the steps after that are going to be up to you, and we'll help you along the way if we can. Okay. Thank you very much, Julie Millare. You're a top-notch professional, great person to work with. I look forward to our next shot. In fact, I'm going to be calling you probably in a couple of days. I have another client very interested. He's going to be a rental investor, and hopefully we'll get him on track and we'll get him to financial success, which is going to benefit him, his wife, and his children. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Julie, thank you for joining us as well. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you on our next edition of the How to Determine If You're Ready to Buy. Bye-bye.